Hi there, my name is Lucy Rose, and I'm a public speaker, academic researcher, writer, blogger, and advocate for disability rights. I am founder and director of We All Disabled, CIC, and vice chair of Disability North. I'm delighted to be invited to speak at the NADP conference. My mission is to encourage people to think differently about disability, to share the insights gained from my PhD research and my lived experiences as a disabled person. We all disabled is a controversial statement which means different things to different people. Almost everyone has something that potentially limits their ability to fully participate in society, particularly during these current times. We want to embrace this controversy and encourage discussion and debate by creating a safe and supportive space for people to share their lived experiences and talk about issues which they may feel uncomfortable in order to explore, challenge, and change perceptions of disability. So why are perceptions so important? So the disability rights movement taking huge steps towards inclusion of disabled people based on the social model. While this is very important, I believe that this is actually perception which causes the biggest barrier to effective inclusion. This is why implicit biases cause a person with disability to be more noticeable than the person themselves. Or when someone feels like their disability will prevent them from being listened to or understood. I believe people's perceptions of me altered when they first see me as a disabled person rather than just a person, which then impacts on how they communicate with me. On some occasions, when I have a conversation with people who I haven't met before or who I don't know particularly well, I can see they feel comfortable if they don't understand what I'm saying. Sometimes I guess and get the right end of the stick, which can cause the conversation to go off on a bit of a tangent. But people are having difficulty understanding it, then actually I wish to just say it's far less offensive than just walking away. With this in mind, I started my book, We All Disabled, at the beginning of the first national lockdown, where we were all marginalised from society and unable to participate in normal everyday activities. I felt it was an ideal time to promote a greater understanding of disability and greater empathy towards disabled people. After all, for a while, we were all disabled and we were all in this together. The feedback I have received led me to conclude that nowadays one of the most significant barriers to inclusion is that people feel awkward in engaging with someone with a disabled person for fear of saying or doing the wrong thing. For this reason, it is vitally important for us all to make efforts to open up conversation, discussion, and debate around perceptions of disability in order to combat biases and challenge prejudice. The idea behind we all disabled is that everyone has something that potentially affects their ability to fully participate in society, and therefore to classify people as being disabled or non-disabled is potentially unrealistic and limiting. I believe that lockdown and social distancing restrictions has given us all, both disabled and non-disabled people, the opportunity to live a new life in a different way, and therefore has the potential to be a great leveler. Disability is started to be acknowledged at a wider level in all its forms, and conversations are opening up in terms of both disability and mental health. This is why I'm keen to work with the village model of disability, because it has many synergies with the philosophy of we all disabled, as it validates, as it addresses medium disability as well as disabled people validating themselves and their identities. I encourage disabled people to celebrate their uniqueness and be proud of their identity. For me, cerebral palsy is part of who I am and is one of the many characteristics that makes me a unique individual. Of course, there are practical considerations to take into account when communicating with somebody with a disability. And the social model of disability can be helpful in identifying these barriers. However, for me, the most important thing is that we acknowledge that we are all human beings and that we are all equal. Providing the opportunity to develop effective communication skills is a really important way to ensure that everyone has their voices heard. This in turn makes it easier for you to unite together, embrace diversity, and become more inclusive in our workplaces, our universities, and our communities. We are currently working with some key organisations in the Northeast on research for a new training programme, which includes cultural orders and interventions. The aim of the programme is to identify and challenge negative perceptions and behaviours in order to inspire a real and positive change. We will be holding an event later in the year to share the outcomes of the pilot project. Our ultimate aim for We All Disabled is to create a global community founded in the Northeast, which promotes empathy and understanding in order to improve the everyday lived experiences of disabled people and promote the effective use of people's unique and individual strengths, no matter what their ability. Please do connect with me on social media and look up We All Disabled on the web. Thank you.